That worked. All right, good morning, humans. Welcome back. I know, so we've had a break, probably. There was snow, which was good, okay. All right, we're still in the funny time. It's not working because I need to, tragic loss of information. Okay, so we're gonna get through this little random bipartite stuff, and I'll talk about some other fun things. Why won't you work? So turn it off. Yep. And there are so many other things to talk about now, right? There was an interesting week in the world. It continues to be an interesting time in the world for lots of reasons. I want to talk let me say a few things about that. So, Facebook has been in the news, you may have noticed. You guys use Facebook much? Not really? Maybe. Who uses it a ton? Okay, yeah. But I think it's interesting, kids, like high school kids and middle school, it's like, no way, right? It's just a total zero. It's just, I mean, they know what it is and they don't like it. Like, it's not just like they haven't been, joined the thing. It's Instagram and Snapchat are much better for them. So we'll see. Of course, Facebook owns Instagram. They've got their out, right? Yeah. But I just want to say that in Parks for a long time, and the work that I did before that, we've sort of been thinking about how things take off and success and so on. And this is from the contagious stories stuff. So you may remember, some of you in Parks a couple of years ago, but a big part to the end was talking about influentials and this idea of influentials and how that's itself been incredibly influential. It's Malcolm Gladwell's popularized it, and people sort of grasp onto this everywhere. You pay someone to shill for you in some way, right? To tell your story or whatever it is, so you'll succeed. And then there's this next step where you realize that that's actually pretty problematic, because a lot of things spread out in the wild, what I call the social wild, and they're the things that people are always trying to emulate, right? Everyone wants to make a Harry Potter. And they usually do this by dressing up in the clothes of the successful thing, sometimes quite literally, right? There's your famous sports player, whatever, you dress like them, because you think this is going to do it for you, right? You read about Da Vinci, so you go and paint like Da Vinci did, or whatever it is. Fine, doesn't always work out. So, but sort of getting beyond that and starting to see that it's actually about this spreading outside, then you realize, okay, well, let's affect those ties, right? And we talked about buzz agent in Parks, where people really deliberately got inside people's connections and made this person pretend to like this product, right, without telling them where they got it from. And Facebook, of course, has been trying to do this for a long time. They had a thing called Beacon early on, which if you've used it, you're probably too young to even know that this was one of their first very callous kind of attempts to monetize this data they had. And it was simply, if you bought something, they wanted you to do it such that Facebook knew about it and would broadcast it on your feed to all of your friends, right? I bought a snack or I bought a car, and it would just go, and everyone revolted about that, right? They were disgusted. There's always been these pushbacks about the privacy changes and da-da-da. But they became very, very good about getting ultimately into the social connections, and that's been this, well, we'll see what happens, but that's been this big outcry about Cambridge Analytica, and the data that's been exposed is that you've had individuals giving their consent through an app for their friends' data to be given away, which is remarkable. And that's actually it was a Facebook feature. It was a service they offered. Someone could say, yes, I want you can know what my birthday is, da 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 da, and you can also know you can know about my friends, what they like and so on. And there's other work, some of which came out of academia, but obviously it's been done much more strongly in industry. If you know 100 likes that someone's made, 200 likes, 300 likes, you really escalate very quickly to knowing more than they know about themselves, right? It's kind of extraordinary, actually, yeah. So you have one person, and on Facebook now, I think the average number of friends is in the 300s, which is reflective of older studies before before the internet. People in the US had around 300, friends by some estimates. There's a Dunbar number of 150, of course. But one person gives consent, and then you've got 100 to 1,000 other people are suddenly So it's, 2 to 3 orders of magnitude gain because someone took a ridiculous IQ test, which of course, they failed already by taking the test. Sorry. The social IQ test, they got a 0 because that was like, they pressed a button that says, yes, have all my friends data. Anyway, this was, I've for a long time said, sure, you can see that it is in the social ties and then go and mess with that, but that's bad too, right? I mean, that absolutely erodes and destroys society because you can't trust anything, anymore eventually, right? Peter, you wanted to say something. So you should make good things and then help them spread, but just don't force anything.
Would you see that as like the opposite, so kind of more like trying to manipulate social interactions for real world and then like for real world applications? So taking the social interactions and like manipulating them for like data, and is that maybe similar but in an opposite sense of how like Snapchat lost 1.3 billion.
Yeah.
Like
One of the Kardashians. Yeah. Yeah.
Rihanna getting serious about that kind of thing, where the social interactions are manipulated, not even necessarily in a malicious way, but like that has a real world effect.
Oh yeah, sure.
Social aspect.
Well, I mean, so much of what we do is built on belief, right? All of money. Money is literally, right? Credit cards, trust, funds. I mean, that's all in our head and our algorithms now, which is complicating. But the words we use, all these things, it's because we, have a shared thing. So, lots of things can deflate pretty quickly just because of belief. There's a famous case right of Obama. The story looked like the AP said that there was a bomb at the White House. I don't know if you know this. For a few years ago, remember this? There was a tweet from AP's Twitter account saying there's been a bomb at the White House, something about Obama. And the stock market went, this is like, let's like save it was actually, a whole bunch of people's immediate contribution to society was to run away from it financially, right? So it went dunk and dropped to some percent. And then they said, our account was hacked, and then it went back up. Yeah.
Things are bad. Everybody take your money. Everybody doesn't have
Runs on banks, right. So anyway, I just want to bring that up, I guess. And we have other things that connect to stuff we've talked that are almost like the stuff that's happening in Austin with the bombings, right? There was a package exploded in a FedEx facility this morning, which apparently people are thinking was supposed to be delivered, right? So there have been 4 that have blown up at people's houses in various, and they're targeting minorities. It seems to be the general story. So, that's a collective detective thing, right? Or we talk about the red balloon stuff and so on. It seems like we should be able to do that. We've done this with police enforcement all the time. The CIA's most wanted, right? Or the FBI's most wanted, I should say. That was a big transition. So I don't know. We should be able to take some of these, apparatuses we've built and just go and make it work.